Hello. You're going to have to bear with me. They're like little clamps. They're meant for your hands and your ears. I've got one on my cheek. They're pretty good actually if you know what you're doing. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I've got a picture of what I'm doing and it's effective. But it's a pretty simple idea. So this video is to sort it out. I made a video earlier that I wasn't really happy with making. Rewind about a month, 6 weeks ago, and the videos I was making were a lot more coherent. They were a lot more logical. There was a lot more thought about them. But like what happens with me, my consciousness fluctuates. So in other words, the way I experience life, I can go from being very clear 4 weeks ago to in the moment, my brain being like a big mush. But I've still got stuff to express, and I still know it has worth. And unfortunately, the situation is nobody else in the world is bothering. We've got people talking and doing stuff, talking about spirituality, talking about mental health, but it's not really doing much. Who's really doing something in this world? Greta Thunberg, I can't pronounce her name, I don't know her name to pronounce it correctly, but you know who I'm talking about. I think she might be Swedish, from that area of the world, and she's proactive with climate change. Someone who's doing something positive that means something in this world. I listen to Russell Brand sometimes on YouTube. He's got an alternative view of the same picture, and he touches on elements that give you ideas for thought, but the whole message isn't structured to really go anywhere. At least that's how I see it. We get spiritual people like Sadhguru. He's a spiritual guru in India, and he's proactive in this world. He's doing a lot. But when it comes to the real crux of the matter, real crux of the problems that bring up and stir up a lot of questions within humanity, the things that get humanity's awareness and consciousness he steers away from. So my channel, I looked at the description the other day, and the whole point of it is just a real person going through a mental health disorder that's spiritual, really trying to understand and look at life. And unfortunately, because there's nobody else in the world that's brave enough to be real human, and David Icke pops into my mind. He's a British conspiracy theorist. He was a teacher of mine. I've gone to see him a few times give lectures, and he talks about real stuff. Not many people talk about real stuff. He talks about the bad going on in the world, but he also talks about all the good that we have as potential. But how many years am I going to be listening to him for him saying the same thing and the message being lost? What are you doing, David? What are you doing? I've been waiting for you for 20 years to take your message to the next step. Apparently David's message, in his mind, can change the world. But it's been the same message for 20 years. It's been the same message for 20 years. So unfortunately, I've been trying this now for I'm just trying to do the math, maybe 7-8 years making videos, trying to reach the world through videos on YouTube as a first step. But I've got like 4 viewers at the moment. I'm making my videos for the future. If I had as many followers as David Icke, the message would be getting somewhere. So at the moment, I'm talking how I used to talk to when this channel was called The Collective Psychosis. It's basically seeing all of these elements that make reality and humanity and the modern day, all the crazy different elements that go into it. And when they come together, they just look confusing. They don't look like a picture that makes sense on any level. And that's where I talk to. Because if it contains all of the elements, then I'm talking to the most people. I just try and see as much of it as possible and allow myself to be confused if it's confusing. But I'm not really happy talking like I did earlier on the live stream and how I've been talking on the live streams the past 2, 3, 4 times. I'm out of my mind in physical pain. And unfortunately, what you get of me without really listening. So if someone really listens, they can still get something. But it's not polished. It's not made accessible to people now. And that's where it really needs to be. That's where I was starting to push it. And in the past week and a half or so, I've had revelations come to me. They're revelations. Prior to that, I'd got a real good, clear understanding based in spirituality of what's going on with the world, why it is so mad, supposedly mad. instead of telling you that, because it's such a complex story, I don't know how to chunk it down. I don't know how to chunk it down, make a 20-minute live stream and give something without you coming and sitting in my lecture for a day, me speaking for 14 hours on the stage, explaining the whole show and why it is the way it is, why Trump's doing what he's doing, why Israel are doing what they're doing, the Middle East, Europe, Africa, the whole world. And I want to stay practical. And I realise if I kick it up a gear on the channel, it'd probably be a good thing for me at the moment. Put some focus here. But I don't know how to tell you everything I know. Do you want to know about mental health? Do you want to know about spirituality? Do you want to know about the world? Love? I've got real good perspectives and something to share on all of those topics. And the world says, Gabriel, we're not going to do a thing. So you're an authority, even if you're not an authority or ready to be an authority. You know, in those areas, you're an authority. So what's most practical to share? We've got this little experience where I put my iPhone 12 mini on a little stand and I speak to it. And I've got my microphone and I'm ready and I'm prepared. I've got my coffee and my smoke, so I'm ready to go. And I just talk about the first thing that pops into my head, or the first thing that I can. You've watched my channel, you've watched my videos, I'm guessing, so you know. I'm speaking to the future still. So everybody in the future is watching this video, and I'm saying I need to make it more accessible for the present moment, so change can actually happen. How do I get this channel rolling? As a message, first and foremost, as a conducive message. Then the people will come. It's all over the shop. I don't blame people for not watching. It's not polished. I've always got my top off. I don't care if I've got clamps on my ears or jaw. It's not the point. If I've got a conducive message, all of that can be forgiven. There's no conducive message at the moment. People are tuning in. Oh my God, look at this madman. Bye-bye. It's faster than I can think. I don't have the space in life to sit down and ponder this. I don't have the ability with my mental health and physical pain to write this out, draw it out and spend time thinking. If I've got that amount of energy, I'm going to put it and use it in quite a few more, even more practical ways to the situation. That is never going to be presented to me. So I'm having a discussion and I'm speaking to all of us. That space between that point unites all of us on the planet. And some people hear some things and other people might hear something else. And I don't want that anymore. I want to put out a conducive message. I've got revelations to share. We've got the world slowly getting better from the mess it is and has been. It's a slow improvement. But there are a lot of things that really do ignite the human in response to things they perceive of this world. War, injustice, all the injustice in the world. Why am I allowed a flat when there are people that are homeless? Why? Why can't we do better right now? This is my way of taking back the space to write it all down and think for myself. Having this conversation. The point is, there are people in this world who should be doing so much more and so much better given their stature, given who they are, given their authority, and they're just doing nothing. So I've got a choice. I can either look at them and try and do nothing myself, but then I fall into all my own problems. It's actually easier for me to try and sort out all of the problems in the world or become an authority. It keeps me focused. But at the very least, it's gonna get the ball rolling in the back of my mind, that I might get an idea in the next day or two about what to do about this. And I had a little idea. I need to be happier, basically. The message is basically, Gabriel, if you want to make live streams, talk about whatever you want to talk about, that's fine. Just be outwardly happy. Don't depress people with your expression. If you're talking about hard subject matter and depression, that's fine, but put on a good appearance. So you just want me to look good. You just want me to look good and smile and let out whatever's in my mouth. Is that good enough? I don't think it's good enough. It's not good enough for me. Maybe as an interim, but we could get the channel focused. So I need to be happier. So let's think about spirituality. I feel I've got a good grounding in spirituality compared to most people. And I love spirituality and it makes me really happy. I've got my beef with it, but I've got beef with everything. I'd love it if I could talk about spirituality. Shall I make the channel more spiritual? Just make everything spiritual, just have no holds barred to spirituality. Look, unless you come up with an idea, I've been asking, what shall I do? And you haven't been saying. At the moment, we've got as far as look happy and maybe spirituality. Look happy and maybe spirituality. Okay, pretty simple. That's all it takes. Now is the time to think. I'm having an open discussion with everybody. And in that thinking, the best the space can do is say, look happy and focus on spirituality. Doesn't sound like too bad an idea. It's a direction, and everything else just might fall into place. Cool. That one's easy. Thank you for your input. If you're a viewer, subscribe, put a comment. People are always asking for extra. The viewer contributes to the live stream. The energy of someone sitting there and taking their time to watch this, whenever that time is past, present or future, another dimension, they're watching it. Time is irrelevant. And if they're really listening, and the person opening their mouth is open for the input, it's an open discussion. So thank you for shaping the future of the channel for everybody. But seriously, do I look that bad? The best you're telling me is to look a bit happier? I feel a bit offended. Hopefully the videos from now on can slowly, if not instantly, start to gain some sort of compartmentalization. We're going to compartmentalize everything and focus on spirituality and being happy. But don't worry, because within everything, within spirituality, is everything. And the way I look at the world is spiritual first. So all the world is spiritual. It's probably not going to change much, but I'm just not going to be afraid to talk about spirituality anymore.